the keynote speaker and special guest of honor, the Deputy Director General of GES, if he's here, the Executive Director of Global Life Changes, the Honorable General Secretary of NAT, my dear colleagues, teachers, and participants in this all-important symposium. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to make use of the already elaborately protocol established by the Director, Dr. James Ziche, and proceed. So I'm excited, in fact, super excited this afternoon to be your facilitator. And for the next 1 hour or so, we are going to be together. So let me start by saying that I am highly honored to be invited as one of the speakers at this very important symposium. And I'd like to express sincere gratitude to Dr. James Ziche, the Executive Director of Global Life Changes, to have thought of inviting the National Teaching Council. And let me also mention and pay homage to my boss, the Registrar of the Council, in the person of Dr. Christiana Daipoku, to have offered me this unique opportunity to represent him as I share with you few thoughts on both the theme of the symposium, but particularly the topic that was proposed to me. Before I do so, let me add my voice to that of the Executive Director to appreciate you all colleague teachers, especially those of you who have been able to make time to join us in this symposium. God richly bless you for all the things you are doing for Mother Ghana. I also want to mention the leaders, the union leaders who are here, NATS, NAGRAT, PRITAG. May God bless you all for everything you are doing. Ladies and gentlemen, the chosen theme for the symposium is shaping and advancing quality education in Ghana, the need for an all-hands-on-deck approach. I'd like to commence my presentation by stating that this theme is quite profound and it is equally timely. I say so because as a country, we are currently observing and experiencing educational reforms, major ones, that have the purpose of enhancing and promoting the cause of quality education, which is a key component of the worldwide sustainable development goal. The theme reminds us that the future of our nation, and by extension, the future of the globe, the world has become global village, and its future rests on education. And if it rests on education, it means that ultimately it rests on teachers, because education itself rests on the shoulders of teachers. This is to say that the discourse of quality education cannot be tackled, or let me say cannot be effectively tackled, without recourse to the pivotal role of the teacher in quality delivery in the classroom. Yesterday, our General Secretary, that's the General Secretary of NAT, actually did justice to the topic, and I believe we learned a lot. That is why at this moment, I want to add my voice to his voice, to applaud the organizers of the program, and also to specifically thank the General Secretary for enlightening us yesterday on the topic. It was brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe you agree with me that no matter how well designed or strategic our educational policies may be, or no matter how modern or sophisticated our infrastructure may be, or better still, how ambitious or well-crafted our curricula may be, the reality remains that no acceptable education system can rise above the quality of its teachers. It is for this reason that I would like to commend the resourcefulness and the professional manner in which the organizers decided to settle on this theme, and also the sub-themes or the topics of these engagements. Today, I am focusing on ensuring quality compliance. I am focusing today on ensuring quality compliance in the teaching profession, the role of the regulator. And like the Executive Director said, he himself, tomorrow, I believe he will be be speaking on the principles of teacher professional excellence and portfolio development and portfolio building. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, the message is simple. The reality is a straightforward one. If we want quality education, we must ensure quality in the teaching profession. We must be mindful of standards, and we must be intentional about compliance. This is why the role of the law or rules, the role of policies and regulation are so critical. And as observed by educationists, the quality of an education system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. That's been McKinsey 2007. My dear colleague teachers, all that I just want to say by way of a preamble or an introduction to my presentation this afternoon is that teachers are key. They are key, but it becomes more critical if we are not compliant. So my presentation, as you can see on the screen, will follow the outline displayed. First of all, I shall state clearly the purpose and objectives of the presentation, and this will be followed by some operational definitions of the key concepts in the topic for us to get started by understanding the topic and appreciating the context. So we shall try to explain the terminologies or key terminologies such as the regulator, the teacher professionalism or teaching profession, and the quality compliance. After that, we shall be exploring the NTC as a regulator. But before we do so, we will be talking about some regulatory agencies that we know in Africa particularly. We will look at the agency to try to understand the NTC as an agency under the Ministry of Education by reminding ourselves of the act establishing the National Teaching Council, Act 2020, Act 1023, and the mandate. We will look at the role of the regulator, or our role specifically, by way of throwing light on the technical departments or the structures and highlighting some aspects of our organogram if we have the time. And this will bring us to what the French will call la crème de la crème, that is ensuring quality compliance as a regulator. I shall focus on how we do this by providing some form of explanation or sharing light on some policy guidelines, some strategic approaches that we adopt as a council, and I shall equally highlight some key challenges and insights in ensuring quality compliance. And by way of conclusion, I shall make some remarks focusing on working collaboratively with sister agencies, with teacher unions, with all of you teachers, teacher education institutions, and I shall lead you at the end of the day in proposing some form of recommendations that we think should be worth considering. Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this presentation is to expose participants to the background of the topic by reflecting on the key concepts, as I alluded to earlier. We shall try to gain a deeper understanding of our mandate as a council. That's the mandate of the National Teaching Council, functions and operations, and we will link these functions and operations to how we are expected to do or to better still how we have been ensuring quality compliance as a regulatory agency. And finally, as I said, with your cooperation or permission, we will also like to share your views with us by way of question and answers or interaction session in order to help us advance the operations of the agency and serve you better. What is quality compliance? We want to understand first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen. Quality compliance refers to the adherence to established standards, regulations, and guidelines that ensure products or services meet specified quality criteria. This concept is crucial for us. It is crucial also in various industries, including education, manufacturing, healthcare, pharmaceutical, food safety, and so on. Some key aspects of quality compliance include regulatory standards, internal standards, audit and inspection, documentation, training and awareness, continuous improvement, and so on. Let me quickly run you through some of them. For example, when we talk about the regulatory standards, organizations or schools, our schools as key examples here, must comply with local, national, or international regulation that dictates quality requirements. When we talk about internal standards, still institutions or companies or organizations often develop their own quality management systems and standards to ensure consistent quality across all operations within the organization. And when we talk of audits and inspection, it has to do with regular internal and external audits that are conducted to assess compliance with quality standard, and this in itself helps to identify areas for improvement. It is also important as a key component of compliance or quality compliance to note that documentation is essential. Maintaining thorough documentation for demonstrating compliance, and this will include record of processes, quality control measures, or corrective actions that are taken in case there are issues. We have training and awareness, where employees must be trained on quality standards and practices to ensure that everyone understands their role in maintaining compliance. And another key aspect of quality compliance is continuous improvement. Quality compliance is an ongoing process that requires regular evaluation and improvement to adapt to changes in standard and customer expectations. In our case, our students or their parents. Ladies and gentlemen, achieving quality compliance not only helps in minimizing risk and ensuring customer satisfaction, but it also enhances the overall reputation of the institution or the organization. We now move to teacher professionalism. When we talk about teacher professionalism, we are referring to a set of values, behaviors, and practices that educators uphold in their role as teachers. This encompasses a commitment to high standards of teaching, ethical conduct, and professional development. And just like in the case of compliance or quality compliance, here are some key aspects of teacher professionalism: ethical standards, continuous professional development, collaboration, accountability, reflective practice, commitment to student success, advocacy for education, and expert knowledge. If we talk about ethical standards, it is expected that professional educators adhere to ethical guidelines that govern their behavior in the classroom and the larger school community. And these include treating all students fairly, maintaining confidentiality where necessary, and respecting the rights and dignity of our students. When it comes to continuous professional development, effective teachers must engage, or it has to do with effective teachers engaging in lifelong learning to enhance their skills and knowledge. And these may include pursuing further education, attending workshops like what we are doing now, participating in professional organization, and staying updated with the latest educational research, particularly in our areas of expertise. Another key aspect of teacher professionalism has to do with collaboration. We need to collaborate with colleagues to share insights, strategies, and resources And this collaborative spirit helps build a supportive community within schools and foster better teaching practices. Accountability is another one, where teachers are accountable for their students' learning outcome, which involves setting clear expectations, utilizing effective teaching methods, and assessing student progress to improve instruction. One other one is reflective practice. Professionalism in teaching includes reflection, self-reflection, where you and I are expected to evaluate our teaching practices, learn from our experiences, and make adjustments as needed to improve effectiveness. We have a number of them. As I said earlier, commitment to student success is key, advocacy, expert knowledge, as I said. But overall, teacher professionalism is really crucial. It's crucial for fostering a positive and effective learning environment. It is crucial in promoting student achievements and advancing the teaching profession as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to look at the final key concept in our context today, and that is the regulator. The regulator can refer to a person or entity that oversees and enforces rules and laws within a specific industry or sector in order to protect the public interest and to ensure fair practices. The regulator has the mandate to control and stabilize the system in order to ensure efficiency and effectiveness of the structures and policies that are in place. And in our context, or the context of government or the Ministry of Education, we can specifically say that a regulator is an authority that sets standards and imposes penalties to ensure that organizations and businesses, companies, schools, or institutions comply with the law, with the rules and regulations, all in public interest. And the regulator has the responsibility of monitoring and enforcing compliance with the law. We want to look at some teacher regulators or regulatory bodies. In England, we have Teaching Regulation Agency that regulates teacher qualification, conduct, and practices. In Nigeria, for example, we have Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria that is mandated to set professional standards for the teachers and investigate misconduct cases, among others. In South Africa, we have the South African Council for Educators that also regulate the teaching profession and enforces the code of professional ethics. And in Ghana over here, we have our National Teaching Council, the NTC. It is important for us to highlight some benefits of effective regulation. And as you can see on your screen, the implementation, I'll start by saying that the implementation of effective regulatory measures in the teaching profession really yields results. That's various advantages. The first one I have identified over here is it enhances teacher quality. Regulatory bodies or regulatory standards ensure that educators or teachers meet requisite qualification and competencies, thereby elevating the overall quality of instruction. There's also the benefits of protection of stakeholders, because a comprehensive background check and thorough investigations in terms of misconduct can provide a safeguard against potential harm to both teachers and students. Another benefit has to do with accountability and compliance, and the regulatory bodies hold teachers and educational institutions, both teachers and educational institutions, accountable for upholding professional standards, promoting a culture of excellence and responsibility. And so by establishing and enforcing rigorous regulatory frameworks, the integrity and efficacy of the education system are maintained. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to present to you briefly the NTC. As you can see on your screen, the NTC is an agency under the Ministry of Education, just like other agencies like NACA, that is the National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, NASIA, National School Inspectorate Authority, the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, the Ghana Education Service, among others. And the National Teaching Council was established by Act 778 of 2008, and it was reaffirmed by Act 2020-1023 to regulate the teaching profession. In 2017, let me indicate that there was a merger with the Teacher Education Division, or the then Teacher Education Division of the Ghana Education Service. And this was really reaffirmed by Act 2020-1023. The council has a board, or a governing board, and our governing board, inaugurated last month, is being chaired by the popular educationist in the person of Mr. Kwame Alovi. And our council is headed by a registrar, so it's equivalent to the Director General of GES, and the others, they prefer the Director General, but for the NTC is the registrar. And currently, we have the head office located in Accra, and then we have other regional offices, 3 of them for now, one in Takoradi, the other one, that's the Western region, the other one in Tamale, and then in Kumasi. Let me quickly indicate that the Section 59 of the Education Regulatory Bodies Act, as I said, mandates the National Teaching Council to regulate the teaching profession. And the specific objectives are to license and register teachers, to develop and periodically review professional standards and code of ethics, and to regulate continuous professional development programs for teachers. I would like to skip this once, our mandate, mission, vision, and core values, and then move to some key functions of the council as stated in Act 778, because we really work with them. We mandated to recommend to the minister professional standards required for registration of teachers. It is within our jurisdiction to also periodically review professional practice and ethical standards for teachers and teaching, and to register and license teachers after they have satisfied the appropriate conditions for initial licensing. We also review through disciplinary committees appeal cases of professional misconduct, and the NTC is also mandated to confirm, vary, or rescind the decision of district disciplinary committees. And it may interest you to note that the NTC can equally revoke a teacher's license to teach after establishing a case of grave professional misconduct, or reinstate same teachers with proof of being fit or cleared to be able to do the job. Let me skip this one also and focus on our critical or technical departments in line with the topic I am presenting. So we have a department, a whole department in charge of continuous professional development, another one in charge of licensing and registration, and then another one examination and assessments. And we have a key department in charge of standard and compliance. And that one is both because that is the topic for discussion this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Teaching Council has been involved, or is always involved, in the initial training of teachers. We are also involved in their professional examination, that is the licensure exams. We issue the initial license to qualify teachers, a successful one, and we induct newly qualified teachers into service. And then we show them the procedures to apply for full license if they qualify. And then we also participate in the CPD activities for them. Let me hint that we are fully committed to AFTRA and IFTRA policies. And AFTRA is the African Federation of Teachers Teaching Regulatory Bodies, and then the IFTRA is the International Forum for Teacher Regulatory Authorities. This is just to show you where we are when it comes to our position on African standard on teacher professionalism. If you check the two diagram, you realize that one has 6 circles and the other one has 8. We are fully committed to this and we are on course, but we are not there yet. And that is what you can see there. I'm just skipping it so that I can get to the key component of my presentation, which focuses on the topic. But I want to quickly draw your attention to the fact that we also organize the Ghana Teacher Prize. And if you see the prizes over here, you should get motivated to be part of it in the very near future if you have not yet benefited from this. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot proceed without making comment about the licensure exam that I alluded to and what is ongoing in the public space. It has to do with its cancellation. Of course, the licensure examination in its current form or initial form has been cancelled, but it has been replaced with a form that you can see on your screen. I believe you've seen this in the media, in social media. So what is going to happen going forward is the fact that the licensure examination is going to be integrated into the final year examination of the teacher training institutions. Unlike the previous system where they wait for about a year after completing training before they are invited to write the exams. And going forward again, I've been starting with those completing this year. The candidates will be writing their examination in the very institutions that they attended, unlike the previous one where they were not permitted to do so. And then the last component of the new reform is the fact that the practicum is supposed to take 70% of the overall marks of the licensure. There are a number of things that the NTC does. Number of materials and service delivery system that we have developed and we are still developing, and material productions. Now to the main topic for today, ensuring quality compliance as a regulator. I must indicate the fact that the National Teaching Council has been operationalizing its mandate in the accreditation of teacher education institutions and their program. We have been licensing and registering teachers. We ensure that only qualified teachers and certified teachers are entrusted with the responsibility of educating our children. And this is done through the licensure examination, as I said. And through that and the registration processes, we uphold professional entry standards and maintain a comprehensive database of practitioners. Again, we set professional standards and ethical guidelines. The National Teacher Standards define what teachers should know, what teachers should value, and we champion just that. Alongside this, our code of conduct serves as a compass for ethical behavior, professionalism, and accountability for all public and private school teachers at the pre-tertiary level. Again, the National Teaching Council has been engaging in continuous professional development. Teaching is a lifelong journey. To this end, the National Teaching Council has developed a structured point based on CPD framework. I just showed you some of the policy documents we developed. So CPD framework is one of them to support teachers in improving their knowledge, skills, and professional values. We also accredit CPD service providers to ensure that the training they offer is relevant and impactful. Again, the National Teaching Council has been monitoring compliance and discipline in the schools and in the classrooms, both at the institutional level and then at the individual teachers levels. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say that regulation is not only about entry, but also about sustained performance. So we monitor schools to ensure adherence to standard through compliance officers, and we investigate cases of professional misconduct, and we apply corrective measures when necessary, as I alluded to earlier. All of this we do in the interest of protecting the learner and then maintaining public trust. Some challenges and insights. My dear colleagues, admittedly, the path to ensuring quality compliance is not without obstacles. And so some challenges include resistance to professional regulation and change. But in this vein, I must quickly add that the teacher unions have really been supporting us. We also have the challenge of limited resources for monitoring activities nationwide. This has to do particularly with budgetary allocations that are slashed down most at times. Then the last one that I've cataloged over here has to do with inadequate access to CPD opportunities in remote and rural areas and training module disparities. These are key challenges that are always of concern to us, and some policy guidance are being produced so that at the end we'll see what progress we can make. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of opportunities as a council, and I just want to share some of them with you. And the first one is leveraging the support we enjoy from the Ministry of Education and the relationship with teacher unions, as I alluded to advance the cause of quality education in Ghana. We have also been collaborating with sister agencies with development partners such as TTEL, Right to Play, Inspiring Teachers, and in fact, the organizers of this very program that we are enjoying today. We also leverage on the sponsorship from our key sponsors all over the country towards the Ghana Teacher Prize. We have a key opportunity to enhancing our CPD to improve learning outcomes in our schools, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, I am looking at my time and it's like I have only a few minutes to end, so I move to the summaries and conclusion. The National Teaching Council actually plays a vital role in maintaining high educational standards by ensuring quality compliance in the teaching profession. And the council has actually implemented the following measures. 1, monitoring and enforcement of standards. The National Teaching Council conducts visits to pre-tertiary institutions, as I said earlier, public and private, to ensure teachers meet the set standard. So our officers check the license status. We check the participation in continuous professional development activities, and then they check alignment of teaching assignments with the type of license. Again, we prioritize adherence to Code of Ethics and professional conduct. So the council has been enforcing strict adherence to Code of Ethics and has been addressing misconduct allegations by investigating and applying appropriate sanctions when necessary, and as I said earlier, including license revocation or suspension as may be recommended by the committees. Again, we issue temporary license and permanent licenses, and we also partner with professional development institutions like the universities that run the teacher education programs to support graduates who do not have the necessary or the required education background to acquire the license. So these universities support us in organizing postgraduate diploma in education programs for them so they can also start the steps to acquiring the permanent license. Again, the National Teaching Council recognizes excellence. The council acknowledges and rewards outstanding teachers through the Ghana Teacher Prize Award, and by doing so, we promote professional excellence. These initiatives demonstrate the council's commitment to maintaining high standard in the teaching profession. Ladies and gentlemen, I must must state at this point that there is a need for all hands on deck approach to serving you better as an agency, because the task of ensuring quality education cannot be the responsibility of the National Teaching Council alone. We need a collective commitment. But let me indicate the fact that government has actually been providing the enabling policies and resources, just that there is a need to expand on some of these things. For example, there is a need to expand the recognition and appreciation of hardworking teachers through the Ghana the Ghana Teacher Prize. I will be excited to hear your thoughts on this. The NTC has been enforcing standard, and the Ghana Education Service and schools leadership have been putting in measures to supervise and mentor effectively. But here again, we need support to be able to deliver better. I alluded to the support from the teacher unions and the colleges and the universities. All have been supporting, but as I said for this session, we need a stronger collaboration from them to be able to deliver on our mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, by way of concluding my presentation, let me reiterate the fact that it is only when all hands, the key stakeholders, come together that quality education can become a reality. It doesn't mean that we are not doing well. We are, and as regulators, I've shared with you all that we do, but we all have to come together to collaborate better for enhanced delivery. The NTC is committed to strengthening our digital system for teacher registration and monitoring. We are committed to expanding the e-learning platforms for CPD. We are committed to promoting recognition for high-performing teachers, and we are committed to creating opportunities for continuous dialogue with our stakeholders. We must all remember that education is not just a sectoral agenda, it is a national survival strategy. And teachers are the frontline soldiers of this cause. My dear colleagues, ensuring quality compliance in the teaching profession is non-negotiable. The National Teaching Council is resolute in carrying out this mandate, but we cannot succeed alone. Let us therefore embrace the call for all hands on deck approach so that together we can shape and advance quality education in Ghana, not only for ourselves as teachers, but for the generations that will inherit this nation and the world at large. Dear organizers, the keynote speaker, dear colleagues, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so very much for your attention. I was actually hoping to be able to deliver within 1 hour, and that's 1 hour has been given to me, and I believe I've done that. I wish to thank you so much for the opportunity. I wish to thank you for your attention, and I end it here by saying God bless all of us. Now time for your questions.
It's now time for us to share our contributions and also ask questions where we need clarification. So let's hear from you, our distinguished participants.
Thank you. I was asking the question on school registry. I want to know if it's the NTC that is responsible for registering schools in Ghana or the NASIA. And if it is so, whether NASIA or NTC, I would like to know why there is a registry for private schools in Ghana that anyone globally can access a link or a portal, or should I say a website, and know that a particular school is duly registered and given the permit Ghana. But with public schools, there was once a time that I was trying to access a public school register online, and I tried through so many means, and I couldn't get it. And due to that, I was even denied an opportunity in the UK because I was satisfied for all criteria. I was later told that my school could not be verified online, so they didn't know whether my school was truly a public school or not. That is the first one. The second one is with the challenges that you were talking about, you made mention of nationwide monitoring. Nationwide monitoring. I would like to suggest, can't the NTC liaise with the districts, the municipalities, and the metropolitan education offices, so that the monitoring teams at the district education offices can also help in the NTC monitoring? That is the second one. And then the third one is that I have noticed that for now, colleges of education are turning out students with degree into the teaching profession. So now the diploma is being faded out. Now my question is, why is it that study leave opportunities, which is also a professional development for teachers to acquire more knowledge in their field, is still centered on Bachelor of Education? Why don't we move on to masters and then doctorate opportunities for study leave? Because from this, I can see that very soon the study leave opportunities that are being given to teachers will be irrelevant, simply because all students that are coming into the system are holding bachelor. So who is going to go for a study leave to attain a second Bachelor of Education? So I think that the teacher profession and education units should also help in that regard. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Is Mr. Kojo from which school?
I'm in Ashanti region, at Chimamponia Edupidi School.
All right, thank you so much. So your first question, NTC does not register school. It's NASIA that does that. NTC, we are regulators. So, but we accredit teacher education institutions and their programs. And so anything that has to do with teachers in the schools, that is what we do. So that is in the domain of NTC. So we do not register schools. And the second concern is about, it's a suggestion or recommendation, and it is well noted. Of course, we have been collaborating with GES a lot, and the district directors or regional directors for that matter. We don't do anything on our own, in terms of mentoring or providing this coaching and all that. We collaborate with them a lot. Now, when it comes to your third question, GES is the implementer. We are regulators. So issues of study leave, of course, the organizers of this symposium will definitely take note of this. If there's a suggestion, just like your second point also, and I like to say that there are very key recommendations or point of view that we can take on for further discussions and considerations. So thank you so much.
Now, Mr. Abdul Wahab Hamid Adam.
Thank you, my admin, and thank you, Doctor, for your nice presentation. My question is, Doc, regarding the points gathering or building the points, there is a kind of lackadaisical attitude from teachers regarding building their points, in that when the training organizations call for us to come and be trained, the supply driven training, the teachers are always relaxed these days. Can you throw more light as to how important the point building is once this is a national symposium? Thank you very much.
Mr. Kingsford.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. I'm so grateful, and thank you to the speaker for such a wonderful presentation. In fact, we've learned a lot in regards to her presentation. My question is, there is a problem between some district directors and municipal directors in regards to the CPD points building workshops. In fact, I don't know whether that has come to her office, because most teachers complain as well as the directors, and it has been more or less something that is reoccurring year in, year out. I want to find out from Madam, CPD points building, is it compulsory for every single teacher in the country? Preferably when they organize a workshop at the district level or the municipal level, is it compulsory for every teacher to attend? Because we are human beings. There may be some circumstances beyond our control of which we could not attend, and it becomes a problem. What gets found out from Madam? Thank you.
Mr. Cosmos.
I want to plead with you if we can get the slides so that because I've learned a lot. I tried to put some things down. I didn't get all. So if we can get the slides or even recording of a sort so that after going through, some of us will be okay and know the way forward. Thank you very much.
Mine has to do with a recommendation. I suggest NTC makes a deliberate effort to train teachers on the teachers portal, because many teachers, should I say, they are naive about the portal. So even just go there and they don't understand what actually goes on there. So I suggest that they should make a deliberate effort to train teachers on the NTC portal. Thank you.
Please, I want to ask those of us who are due for promotion this year. The portal is not working. Please, we cannot apply. What do we do? Thank you.
So the first concern or question has to do with the building of CPD points. Somebody wants to know whether it is important. Let me say that the building of CPD point is actually important. It is important for you to build some points in order to merit the renewal of your license. So if you indicate that some teachers have been exhibiting some lackadaisical attitude towards it, of course, we've heard it, but it is something that we need to investigate further or conduct some form of research into so that we know how to address the issues that are associated with this particular exercise, because it is important. The current policies, if you miss them, you are not able to provide proof of gathering point, it will be practically impossible for you to renew your license. Then the second concern has to do with the workshop, the CPD workshop, if it is compulsory for every teacher. And the person added that the person who has the question added that possibly because of some reasons, if somebody is not unable to, then they become affected and so on. These are issues that we can easily resolve. And of course, when it comes to CPD organization nationwide, we as indicated in my presentation, we work or we accredit the CPD providers, but that is not an area I want to delve into in this particular presentation, because we really have some challenges or issues that are currently receiving our attention at the council. So let me say that with that one, let me leave it at that for now. But the bottom line is that it is compulsory, but if for any reason you or anybody is unable to, of course, these are issues that you can easily discuss for us to all see the way forward clearly. The slides will be shared, provided the organizers will have your, I believe they have your contact and they should be able to share the slides with you. No problem at all. It will help you to go through all the things that have been presented, and I believe we will all be benefiting from that. The next concern was I think it's an advice to NTC to make the effort to train teachers on the portal. This is where I remember I mentioned in my presentation that we really collaborate with GES a lot. When it comes to the training on the portals, this is where we invite key people, including, I believe, the directors, district directors, the CISOs, to train them so that it is done at their level. But as you said, it is well noted. We are going to look at what the challenges are, and if possible, provided we have the resources to do so. That, or maybe we can also organize the virtual one if it is possible. But it's a point well noted, and it will definitely receive the necessary attention. Thank you. And somebody said that the portals are not working. All these are well noted. You should be able to address them in due course. Thank you very much.
Now, Mr. Luke Biwome.
The last point Doc raised or answered is the same thing I wanted to say. But what I've seen is that we were the first batch to write the licensure exams back at college. And after we just finished and we were posted, that ended it. Until later on, they came to issue the license, the cards to us. That's just it. And you will be there, they will say NTC workshop and other things. Though is the district, they are doing their best, but if you look on the ground, the teachers has no knowledge, or they have no knowledge about whatever is happening. Me like this, I'm a CL in my school. Whenever you talk about this Wednesday PLC thing, it's like they will say that you like work. So I don't know. There should be something that should be done, especially the education from the top to the down, so that we will really understand what it is all about, which will help us. Me, I see that is something which is helpful. So I like the answer Doc give. Thank you, please.
Thank you so much for your input. It's well noted. Of course, the PLCs are also very important. So well noted.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac Bredu.
Yeah, in the first place, I would like to thank the organizers of this program. So beautiful program, well organized, and the team. God bless you. And to our facilitator, Doc, God bless you as well. We are very grateful for the knowledge, insight, and all that you've given to us. We are talking about compliance. I know a number of teachers in Central Region who claim they have the minimum of 20 points to enable them, merit them, receive their renewal come next year. And for that reason, they are not interested in any further training anywhere, because if the minimum is 20 and the person has 21, 22, then what is the essence for going for any further training? So I'm thinking that if possible, something should be done so that these points, whether you are on good status, should be linked to promotion, CPD allowance, and all that. Otherwise, the time will come, most people will not show any active interest, and they will not be willing to go for any further training anywhere once they meet the minimum requirement. Thank you so much.
So let's take note of this. The name of the organizers is Global Life Changes. Global Life Changes. So when you want to appreciate the organizers, please go by the name Global Life Changes. Thank you so much. So the next person, Mr. Lord Ampofu.
Just find it difficult attending such workshops simply because when the CPD money is given to them at the end of the year, somewhere October, September, and they spend all the money. So in the middle of the year or the academic year, call them for workshops. The money is being used. So my plea is that if we have service providers who are accredited to give us this training, money should be deducted at source, so that when the teacher is called for such programs, this is not the time the teacher is expected to pay additional money to attend. Just take a vehicle, or if you are close by, and just attend the workshop. But the fact that we are taking money from them directly to attend workshops, that kills most of them their morale. So I plead with the authorities, especially NTC and GS controller, who are giving out this allowance for CPD trainings. The number of training that is expected to be done within the course of the year for every teacher, the amount that is expected paid for every teacher's coffers should be detected at source, so that the problems of getting teachers paying before attending workshop then will be eschewed. So this is my humble plea, so that all will come to the training without paying extra monies to deter them. Thank you very much.
Mr. Gabriel Amebo Dumashi.
Thank you, madam. My first question is on the point 6 of the duties, that's accreditation of CPD service providers. Now, there has been a lot of workshops being organized, and at the end of the day, those teachers who attended the service providers workshop are not accredited the point. They will be on these accredited service providers, and still their points are not accredited. So making teachers who participate in PLC even get them annoyed, because they feel that they have gone for a lot of workshops and they have not seen any point being accredited to them. So please take note and help so that these accredited service providers do the needful to make sure that the teachers get their points. That is my first question. The second one is the opportunities, collaborating with sister organizations. I think that would be better to do the monitoring especially if you are leaving the monitoring in the hands of the region and the GES, the various districts. I think you are not going to get any better result. But if you are going to rather swap district to go to another district to go and monitor, or swap another region to go and do monitoring, that will help in making sure that the other issue is about ensuring adherence to code of ethics. As we have open school right now, there are a lot of things that are happening, which across the country. And I believe if a team has to move around, they will see what is happening, how parents are complaining, and parents are also feeling that they are in public schools, not in private schools. Yeah, so I will plead that they take this serious, and thank you very much.
Doc, would you like to attend to the
Yes,
question that have been
yes,
asked?
most of them are contributions. So, but they are all very well noted. The first one has to do with the organization of the PLCs, and they need more education on the organization of the PLC. It's well noted. We will provide that elaborate one in due course. The second one has to do with compliance. He said what? The minimum point. So when people get to the minimum point, not the maximum. So when they get to the minimum point, they are no longer interested in any further training. So the person was suggesting that we should link this to promotion all the CPD allowances, so that people will be more interested, because the end result, I mean, what we are interested in is the reflection of this training in the outcomes or the learning outcomes. So your contribution is also well noted. They are critical things, and I believe these are all the reasons why Global Life Changes has decided to organize this kind of training for us on Symposium, and I believe they are also taking notes, and then we should be engaging further to make all these things work. The third one is also a contribution, advising that any deduction in terms of payment for the CPD programs should be deducted at source for the workshops. Okay, as I alluded to, or I indicated earlier, that with regards to the organization of the CPD and also the accreditation of service providers, there are a lot of things that are on our table now, receiving attention, and at the appropriate time we'll be sharing some of them with you. And the last one, of course, I agree with you that there are gaps, okay, when it comes to uploading of the CPD points. Sometimes, and the NTC may not be appropriately informed, but once we are informed, we send a team to wherever the training is taking place, so that there are no challenges associated with the uploading. But all your suggestions are being well noted. And the last one has to do with collaboration with sister agencies, and that's we are doing. But as I said, I am so happy that you are making this input. That shows that you are also committed to advising us to do better. So we are going to pay critical attention to all of your suggestions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Doc. Now, Reverend Father Alfred Awulete.
Thank you. Good evening, and thanks for the opportunity. Please, I would like to find out from Madam about the PLC, the points that we are supposed to get as teachers for the PLC. In fact, we have gone through the PLC for a year or two, and some of us, we have not received any point. And I don't know who is supposed to accredit us those points. And then number two, as rightly suggested by some of us, I believe some of the teachers, or some of us as teachers, we don't have interest in these workshops that is organized by this accredited institution, because the ones that we have done, we are not getting points on them. And then when you bring different ones, we will not have any motivation to join any workshop. For example, the global line, this workshop that we had at first, immediately after the workshop, we had our point. So when this workshop came, we gladly joined. But what we are facing now is that even the PLC that we did, we are not getting the point. Even the national PLC that we do, the national one, the CPD, some of the teachers are not getting their point. So it is a problem altogether. So it doesn't even rouse interest of the teachers to even join this NTC. So what I suggest is that the NTC should try as much as possible to fix these problems. I think when these problems are fixed, teachers will have interest in it. When I go for workshop and I see that my point is in, the next time no one will even force me. I will join the workshop. But when I do it, I don't get the point. I will not. The next I will not see the need to join any workshop. Thank you very much.
Mr. Al-Hassan Umar.
Many of us attended many workshops and even paid. At the end of the day, we did not get points. Meanwhile, we have certificates indicating that we really participated in those trainings. So what I would suggest is that NTC should work hard on the portal. They should create a place where if you have such problem, you can upload maybe your certificate indicating your participation and lodge your complaint there so that they will work it on if there is a need to either refund your money or give you the needed points. That would have been better to make more people interested or make the workshop attractive, because NTC said if you are not if your points is not if they not accumulate points to the minimum, your license will be revoked. So many people are going for the workshop with the perception of the points. So if I attend a workshop and I know I'm not getting the points, nobody will show interest in me. And global life changes for them, we've never had any issue about them. That particular, if immediately we get finished, they will bring out if your license number is having problem, they will make you rectify it. 1 week or less than that, your points will be credited. So for them, we are giving them 100%, but they don't have problem. But others, I have like 3 certificates, but none of them, the points are not there. But I don't know how to lodge the complaint. So, madam, if you can look into that, it will be helpful. Thank you.
Mr. Palisa.
I'm grateful for the opportunity and the second day of the symposium. Our facilitator for today has done very well, and I must commend her for a good job done. I think the concerns are quite similar. I have attended a number of the CPD programs and activities, and I vowed never to attend again. Sometimes you go and realize that from where I'm coming from, because of this reason, I'm keeping quiet. But you realize that we have about 1,000 teachers and over crowded at a particular assembly hall receiving training, what is called CPD. How is that going to be effective? So after I've paid money, and then I go and sit down, only for somebody to stand far away from there, do some presentations that he has done CPD for me, and for that reason I should pay. That wouldn't work. In any case, it's for professional development. My brother who suggested that they should deduct the thing from source, professional development hasn't got to do with only that. We can update ourselves in the universities, in courses. NAT has brought courses that we can do. All of them are part of professional development. That I think is even better than what is being done over there. And so we will not agree. I will not, madam, if you have written that one, I cancel it. The money should be brought down. In any case, when the money was paid initially, every year when the professional development allowance is paid, we have some section paid taken out. So that will lead me to my next question: that when are we supposed to renew license? And if you are paying for the license, you must know. I know that madam has been there not too long ago, but she will be able to tell us how much we are supposed to pay for license renewal. Because as it stands, I realize that every time that we have received professional development allowance, a portion was deducted to serve as the fee for our licensure renewal. In this case, we want to know how much we are supposed to pay when our license has expired. How much are we supposed to pay so that we know that this amount that they are supposed to take it? Not that every year they take something and then in the name that is going to serve as our license renewal fee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kwesibona.
Thank you for the opportunity. Please, Doc, my question has to do with the portal. We have a quite number of teachers who have challenges in filling their details on the portal. For example, some of them will have an issue of incorrect staff ID or SNET number, and it makes it very difficult for them to hook on the portal. So I want to find out what are some of the things that NTC is putting in place to enable all the teachers to be able to hook on the portal. The other issue has to do with the CPD point. I would like you to categorically let us know how many are for the PLCs, so that we'll be able to educate the teachers to know exactly what they are expected to do. And please, for the portal, do something for us, because a lot of teachers have challenges, and we have those who have also registered, but their numbers are pending. Since last year, they've not gotten their license number. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your concerns. Let me just indicate that maybe my next presentation to you should be on the PLC, CPD, and they are really problematic or challenging areas for you. But I'm starting from point 3. I will come back. I mean, question 3. I'll come back to the others. Somebody who said that he has vowed never to attend CPD workshops any longer. Please, I will plead with you to rescind that decision, okay? Yeah, your concern has to do with the way the workshops or the training programs are organized. And that was why I made that comment that I think my next presentation should be on this, and also to take measures, concrete measures to rethink the way we organize the CPDs or advise our CPD. I said it earlier that with regard to CPD and especially the service providers, we have a lot of issues that are receiving our attention. So please rest assured that in due course we will revert to you with answers to most of, if not all of, your concerns. We are doing a lot also on our side to be able to serve you better. And when it comes to how much to pay for the license renewals, I just want to say that what is being paid now, in fact, I don't know, somebody alluded to the fact that I'm new. Yes, I am, and I just wish I had somebody over here, one of my directors, to be able to respond to that. I may not be able to tell you exactly how much, but I just want to indicate that our fees and charges, okay, for all the services we provide are actually approved by the Parliament as submitted by Ministry of Finance. So NTC doesn't really come up with the fees and then we share with you what to pay. So what is paid is as a result of approval granted by Parliament as submitted by Ministry of Finance. But the specific fees regarding all the services, maybe as you have indicated now, we have to find a way of sharing with you so that you know exactly how much to pay for licenses, new or renewal of licenses, and other CPDs and all other services for that matter. Let me go to the first concern, which is on PLC. And somebody also complained that they attended PLC sessions and for the whole year they have not been able to get the points uploaded. Is that it? To be honest with you, what I'm aware of is the fact that the National Teaching Council has a consultant that is in charge of this. So once we have these issues coming to our attention, I think I have to really thank the Global Life Changers for this workshop that is making us to appreciate some of the challenges there that we may not be aware of. So what I am thinking straight away is to get some of my directors or then get a registrar informed so that quickly we can organize a platform for reporting some of these concerns so that they can be quickly resolved or resolved promptly. So you don't wait until a key partner like Global Life Changers will come and organize this kind of symposium before we are addressing or we are voicing out most of the challenges. So I want to assure you that we will establish a platform now and then and quickly let you know how to bring some of these things to our attention to be resolved promptly. But all of your concerns, I want to believe that it boils down to the gaps in the system, and thank God we have this opportunity to talk about them. The second point has to do with what? Okay, it's a suggestion or a recommendation to NCT that we should work and resolve the issues with regard to the challenges with the portal. The last one that I have over here is also also a suggestion in regards to the portal, and I want to assure you that we are doing all within our capabilities to improve the activities or our operations as a council. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Doc. Mr. David, please go on.
Thank you, moderator. Thank you, Global Life Changes, and then the executive director, Dr. James. In fact, our presenter today, Dr. Cecilia, did justice to what I was expecting from NTC. So appreciation to Dr. Cecilia, though her shortest possible time in office, she has delivered. Now, my second one, already most of my colleagues spoke about it. Since 2017, I became a teacher, and I registered my portal, NTC portal, as a diploma teacher. Up till 2025, I cannot update anything, and I have been upgraded, promoted, all this, and even changed schools, reposted. But when you open the portal, my initial school details are still there with diploma, even in 2025. So something should be done, Doc, about our NTC portals. The second one have to do with there should be wider education of teachers in Ghana. When this program was going on, I asked some of my colleagues to join, and they said, look, this NTC points building is a fiasco. Why? Most of us have no points. We have not been penalized. We have still been allowed to teach. And even some of the service providers, when they call you for a training, you just register and don't even attend the training. They will give you points. That is those of them that have the accreditation to give you points. They will give it to you. So as a teacher, you'll be like, is it the money they need? Is it that they actually want to develop you as a person? So that is why teachers are so lackadaisical about it. And besides, when I asked the teachers to register, some of them said, look, this kind of thing, what is it? The government that is in power, they will cancel it. Can't you hear that they have canceled the licensal exams? And they walk away with it. So these are some of the things that demoralize us to join NTC portals or NTC workshops to develop ourselves. Then finally, Global Life Changes is 100% what they call it, an institution that aims at training teachers. I've encountered Dr. James Zeke at NABDAN in Upper East here in person. And then, in fact, when he's speaking virtually, I feel like I am in his presence. Now, I'll recommend to you, NTC, any group or any NGO that knocks your door and they want to develop teachers in Ghana here, please kindly recommend Global Life Changes to them, whereas all of us as teachers in Ghana nationally can benefit these their rich programs. Thank you, moderator. Thank you, Dr. Cecilia.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Nasruddin and Tia Ibrahim.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please go on.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. I'm not actually going to ask a question, but correct a statement or a fact somebody just, I think the last but two speaker or questioner, if I may say. He said somebody comes in, though I'm not sounding political, we are teachers or educators and we need facts to carry on with our life. Said somebody comes in, for example, the current administration has come in and they have cancelled the censor exam. That is not the fact. They said they are going to incorporate that with the final exams of the students when they are in the fourth year at the various training colleges. So it is the structure that has changed, but not cancelling the exams itself entirely. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kwajo Fosu Asante.
Thank you, madam. First of all, I would like to answer one of the questions which dealt with PLC points award in school. I'd like to say that I know much about this, so I can say that. And with PLC that is done in school, it is the head teachers who actually award the points and not NTC. NTC only approves it. Head teachers are called station managers on the NTC portal. So it is the duty of one head teacher to upload documents of the weekly PLCs that they do on the portal, and then we in turn will be given the opportunity to award the points to the teachers who took part in the PLC. So those of us who have done PLC in school and have not received their points should kindly and respectfully consult their head teachers. It could be that they are even not aware of what I am saying. So on their portal, on the NTC, they have a portion they have written as station management. So the head teacher or the headmistress must go to the station management to access the part where they will be able to award the teachers for their PLC points by first uploading the documents that will be proof that indeed they did it and teachers were what present. Okay, thank you on that. Then my question will be like for the head teachers. If a head teacher is currently managing a school and then is transferred, how do they get access to the new to the new school so that they will be able to manage the new school's management for them? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Papa Ni.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Stephen Adi, aka Papa Ni, Central Region Upper Dentra West. Please, I want to state that if it's possible, this one is a suggestion, kindly create a link on the PLC portal such that if a head teacher of this school is reposted to another school, the new head teacher can make changes in the head teacher on the current PLC so that if we are able to complete our PLC, we can successfully upload. I am saying this because in a certain school where I was in the different districts, we were doing everything successfully until the head teacher was reposted to another school, and that ended it because we were unable to change the head teacher on the PLC. So if we can make a changes on a certain change on the PLC portal such that this can be done, I think uploading our PLC programs and whatever on the PLC will be possible. Secondly, please, I want to ask if the PLC portal is still on trial, because a time came when I went for a training and the facilitator there told us that the PLC portal is on trial. And that is why you see that somebody came into the system 2007 to date, blah, 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 and nothing has been able to be changed after registering. So if it is on trial, please let us know so that we will know what to do. And my last thing is that currently, where I am now, we have had a lot of PLC trainings, but unfortunately, because our headmaster has lost access to the PLC portal, we have not been able to upload anything. In this case, please, what do we need to do? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity given me. Please, my concern has to do with the license renewal fee that is being charged every year. Please, with regards to Madam's answers, I'm not really convinced. I want to know whether the point building system that we are doing, is it the point that we are to use to renew the license at the end of the tenure, or the monies that have been deducted every year whenever they are going to pay the professional development allowance? We want to know. NTC must come clear so that teachers will know. So that if it is that the money that they are deducting is what they are going to use to renew it, then teachers will advise themselves as to the point building. And if it is the point that we are going to use, then there's no need for them to be deducting the monies that the 100 Ghana cedis that they are deducting on the professional development allowance. Thank you. That is my concern.
Thank you, sir. Last person, Mr. Abdul Wahab Adam.
Thank you, respected admin and moderator. I want to say that I want to add more enlightenment. Number one, the district director of education would have to contact NTC for NTC to set the whole district up, especially the director, to be able to also set his or her school head teachers or head mistresses up before the director will be able to give the head teachers the mandate to award the PLC points. So in a particular region, if a district is not set up by NTC, that district director cannot award the points. Then when the director also set up the head teachers, then the head teachers will take the attendance sheets and upload them after every TLC meeting. And so after that upload, he or she will have to log onto his portal, go to the management station, and then award the points, not anyhow, but there's a period where the district will be asking all head teachers to log on, upload the attendance sheets, log on, and then award the points. So it is not just done anyhow. Then a brother spoke about the number of points. Yes, me, for instance, if not for global life changes, I would have had less than 10 points. But as of last year, I had gathered almost 60 something, 67 points. You see, from online trainings, from face to face, from PLCs. But let me use this opportunity to encourage teachers that we are so relaxed such that when the issue of trainings are mentioned, even the PLC in your own school, they don't want to participate. You don't participate on the training because you just want to build the points, but you will have to equip or build your capacities. I had the experience of participating in the Global Life Changes training at NAPDAM in Bolga and other places. And the director Zeche and his team, they really educated us a lot, such that those who could not take part were so left out, and they were calling for him to come and do the training. And so let me use the opportunity to thank Global Life Changes and pray that NTC allows them permission to come around all the districts and then conduct the training for us. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, colleague participants in this workshop. Thank you, moderator. I'd like to indicate that most of the latter submissions were more of contributions and recommendations to NTC particularly, and I wish to tell you or indicate that they are all well noted. When it comes to a specific one like the second to last person who asked the question, that the NTC must come clear on whether is the point or the money that will merit you the renewal of the license. As I said concerning that, let me just indicate that we are all teachers, and it's not every time that you pretend to be answering questions, especially if you do not have the answer. I just want to say that I am unable to provide specific answer on this money deduction or to your question or concern. I indicated earlier that if you have something very dear to your heart that you think you are not able to get clarification on this evening, you have the contact of organizers. It will get to us, and in due course we will address the issue. So once again, I'm sorry I am unable to provide the kind of specific answer you will need regarding the 100 cedis or the CPD point for that matter. When it comes to PLC, not PLC point or so not being uploaded because of technical issues, that one has to do with what I said earlier, that I just appreciate the challenges and the gaps we have been talking about. But I don't want to believe that, like somebody put it earlier, that the whole of the PLC point building is fiasco, and so because of that you wouldn't want to partake in some of or any of these things again. Colleagues, please, the presentation this evening and the engagement and the interaction, I believe, is to help us offer better services to ourselves, so that at the end of the day, we can be proud of the outcomes or the learning outcomes in the classroom. Of course, I am not in any way trying to underrate the fact that we, the teachers in the classroom, need to be comfortable or convinced with what will come out of our PLCs, our CPDs, and all the related issues to be able to deliver. No, I'm not underestimating this at all, but I just want to plead with you to kindly have a little more patience for us as I encourage you to continue the good work you are doing and to continue in supporting us to deliver better. I believe that in due course, as I said, we should be able to provide answers to most of your concerns, not just answers, but at least better system that will support all of us. I just want to make my final comment now, because unfortunately I have another meeting. We're supposed to be closing at 5:30 and it's already way after 5:30. So let me make my final comment before our able moderator comes in. I was saying that I want to encourage you to continue to support us through constructive feedback like we have heard this evening. I can really appreciate the challenges, and I want to say please have patient for us, together with our collaborators and particularly with Global Life Changes, this initiative, I believe we will address the issues. Let me commend Global Life Changes again, because most of our colleagues who spoke this evening really commended you. Most of the contributors commended you, and some actually even recommended you as well. Thank you for all that you are doing. Kudos to you. All of my colleague participants in this informative, impactful symposium, I say thank you for your questions. Thank you for your contributions that have been very, very invaluable. God bless you in everything that you do. I hope to get the opportunity again soon so that I can clarify most of the issues, and especially to those who may want to ask questions or contributing who have not been able to get the opportunity to do so. Do not be discouraged. Just let us get to know some of them some way, somehow. I believe Global Changes will help us to get those of your concerns that have not been able, that you have not been able to voice out this evening, for us to address them in due course. Once again, thank you so much for the opportunity. God bless all of us. Amen.